Hey everyone, it's me, Kat. I have a book haul for you today. I have a couple other things that I got today. I just thought I'd add it. Also, I don't know if you guys can notice or not, but I just dyed my hair. I actually just finished it and just got out of the shower, which is why it looks wet. But I dyed it black because a while ago I had tried. Okay, when I was in college, I had dyed my hair purple, and it looked really, really good, and so I really, really liked it. So I wanted to try to do it again. It didn't really work that well, and so I had like brownish reddish hair for a while. I don't know if you guys could tell that in my videos. But I just dyed it black so that it would go back to my natural hair color. I don't know if you guys, how great you guys can tell that, but it's now black. I'm hoping to get a haircut tomorrow. Um, and so it won't look that different. It's just going to be layered, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, I don't know how much you guys can tell, but yeah, it's black. Anyway, one thing that we stopped to today, I'm like getting cut off. Hold on, I gotta readjust you guys. Okay, one store that we stopped to, my hair looks so bad. Okay, one store we stopped today was Old Navy, because they were having a sale that their flip-flops were only $1 when they're normally like $4 each. And I am in love with their flip-flops, and just the other day my favorite pair from them broke. So I begged my mom to bring me there, and so of course she did. And they're just the regular solid color flip-flops. I got 4 different colors, um, brown, black, gray, and white, because we kind of went late in the day, so there wasn't a whole lot of colors left, but I'm fine with that. And then I got one tank top, so I thought I'd show you guys because it's cute. It's like a racer back, and then I don't know how well you guys can see that. It was on clearance, so I thought, what the hell. And it has like little buttons here in the front, and it has the racer back and everything. I just thought it was really cute. But anyway, on to the book haul, which is why you all are here. Okay, first I got a book from an author. I believe I got it off Goodreads, but it's called Laughter and Tears by Skip Coryell. I think that's how you say his name. Um, I started reading it, as you can see. I'm about that far in. So now I have 3 books that I'm reading right now. It's very big writing, so I'm thinking I'm going to get through it fairly quickly. And there's pictures and everything, because it's kind of like an well, it's not really an autobiography, but it's kind of like about his life and like his journals and stuff like that. So far, it's for me. I really like the cover. I think it's really pretty. But I'm gonna have my review of this very soon, so I got that one. Next one I got because I was watching the Booktubinator's video, and he showed this book, and I was like, oh my god, I have to get this book because I'm obsessed. So I went and bought it, and it came in the mail today, and it is Kids' Letters to Harry Potter from Around the World, compiled by Bill Adler. You all know how obsessed I am with Harry Potter, so I had to get this book, and I've already started reading it. I'm on page like 20 or something, because we were going out today, so as soon as I got in the mail, I brought it with me. And it's really cute because it's letters written from fans, and I believe you had to be up to 15 because one of the letters in here states, like, at least I'm thankful that I got a chance to write to you now instead of next year, because she would have been 16 or something. But it has like legit letters that students or kids wrote to Harry Potter, or a character in the book, not like to Dan Radcliffe or to Emma Watson, like to legit Harry Potter, and it's so cute. And some of them, there's one in here that made up their own potion, and it's so cute. So of course I had to get that one. Next, the rest of these, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, my hair's like in my way. These next 8 books I went to Goodwill and got. So yeah, they were all $1 each. The first 2 books are by the same author. I've heard so much about this author, and so I saw them and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to pick them up whether I really like it or not. I've heard he's hilarious and he's a great author. Even my English teacher from high school had recommended him. And the first one I got was Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. I've heard this book is so good, so I'm really excited to read this. This is probably going to be the next book I read after I read some of my review books. And then also by him, I got Hocus Pocus, which I love this cover. It's so cute. I don't know whether this is like the movie Hocus Pocus or whether it's just one of his books and it's just the title, or not, but another Kurt Vonnegut, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to grab them, so then I have two. I also want to read Cat's Cradle, because I've heard that one's really good too. The next book I picked up was the only one there, so I was kind of disappointed, but I picked it up as soon as I saw it. It was actually the first book I saw, and it's Pretties by Scott Westerfield. I really want to read this series. I haven't started it yet, and I know this is the second book, but you all know how OCD I am, and if I own the books, I have to own all of the books before I can start reading the series. So I do know that this is the second book, and I need to get Uglies first, but now I need to get the whole series before I can start reading it. But I have it, so I'm going to read it soon. This next book, I have no clue what this is about. Oh, did you guys want me to read the back? Well, you know what Pretties is. The Kurt Vonnegut books, you know. And then the other two, it's okay. Okay, I'm good. I'll start reading the backs now. But this next book I saw, and I really liked the title. And I know this author, so I picked up the book. Because I'm not one to read the whole synopsis when I'm standing there looking at books. Sorry, don't kill me. But it's Vegan Virgin Valentine by Carolyn Mackler. She's also the person that wrote The Earth, My Butt, and Other Big Round Things, which I actually loved that book when I was younger, so I decided to pick this one up. It's quite small, and the writing is fairly big. And the back says, Mara Valentine is in control. She's a straight-A senior, a vegan, and her parents' pride and joy. She's neck and neck with her womanizing ex-boyfriend for #1 class ranking and plans to kick his salutatorian butt on her way out the door to Yale. Mara has her remaining months in Brockport all planned out. The plan does not involve having V, her slutty, pot-smoking 16-year-old niece, come to live with her, nor does it involve lusting after her boss at the local cafe or dreaming about grilled cheese sandwiches every night. Before Mara knows it, things are spinning wildly out of control. So that sounds really good, and because I'm trying to become a vegetarian, and I saw vegan, and I was like, oh, I want to read it, so I did. The next book, I really liked this cover, and then I read one of the quotes on the back, and I just had to get it, and it's called Cookie Cutter by Sterling Anthony. It's such a great cover. The quote that I read on the back is a psychological thriller that will chill you to the bones. And so I was like, OMG, have to get it. But that's the book. It's pretty small. Writing's not horrendous, but this is the back. If you see him, you will not know him. If you greet him, it may be too late. For every image you have of a murderer, he will defy it, and he will make you pay. A woman haunted by a tragedy in her own past, Homicide Lieutenant Bloody Mary Cunningham now tracks an exclusive killer who, like an apparition, materializes out of nothing, then escapes into the folds of the night. The victims are all black, stabbed repeatedly, their lifeless fingers folded around a single cookie. Black on the outside, white on the inside. Mary knows she's not searching for just another loser with a knife. The man she is looking for is a smart, self-appointed judge, jury, and executor who doles out brutally swift justice to racial sellouts, plotting murders with cool precision. But she can never guess the twisted history that is driving her suspect, or how his political connections will affect the case, or why she herself could be the next perfect prey. Sounds amazing. Cannot wait to read this one. Next book is by one of my favorite authors. I have read almost all of her books, of course, besides this one, and it's called Define Normal by Julianne Peters. I don't really like the cover, but I absolutely love Julianne Peters. I've been in contact with her many times, and she's an amazing author, and so I decided to pick this up. The writing's pretty big, and it's not that big, so I'm probably going to get through this pretty quickly, especially because a lot of her books I can't put down. My favorite book by her is, it's on the back, Keeping You a Secret. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name. I was thinking of a different one, but it sounds really, really good. So this is what the back says. Overachiever Antonia is is eager to participate in the new peer counseling program at school, until she learns the person she's supposed to counsel is Jasmine Luther. Jazz is anything but Antonia's peer. She's a punker, a druggie, a gang hanger. But as their peer counseling sessions progress, Antonia and Jazz discover they have a lot more in common than they could ever have imagined. When Antonia's life begins to unravel, she fears Jasmine Luther may be her only lifeline. Defying Normal is a poignant, darkly comic novel that challenges readers' definitions of what is normal. So, sounds awesome. I absolutely love her writing. Next book is one that I haven't really seen before, but it looked really good, and Scott Westerfield and Cassandra Clare both put a quote on here, so of course it has to be good, and it's called Boneshaker by Cherie Prest, and I really like this cover, and Scott Westerfield said it's a steampunk zombie airship adventure of rollicking pace and sweeping proportions, full of wonderfully gnarling details. This book is made of irresistible. So it sounds awesome. So I'm excited for this. It's kind of a big book, and the writing is very small, so it's probably going to take a little while. Oh, I didn't tell you how many pages everything was, but I don't think you guys really care. If you guys really want to know, you can comment me and I'll tell you, but it's 414 pages, so not that bad. And this is what the back says. In the early days of the Civil War, rumors of gold in frozen Klondike brought hordes of newcomers to the Pacific Northwest. Anxious to compete, Russian prospectors commissioned inventor Leviticus Blue to create a great machine that could mine through Alaska's ice. Thus was Dr. Blue's incredible bone-shaking drill engine born. But on its first test run, the Boneshaker went terribly awry, destroying several blocks of downtown Seattle and unearthing a subterranean vein of blight gas that turned anyone who breathed it into the living dead. Awesome. Now it is 16 years later, and a wall has been built to enclose the devastated and toxic city. Just beyond it lives Blue's widow, Briar Wilkes. Life is hard with ruined reputation and a teenage boy to support, but she and Ezekiel are managing, until Ezekiel undertakes a secret cascade to rewrite history. His quest will take him under the wall and into the city teeming with ravenous undead, air pirates, criminal overlords, and heavy-armed refugees, and only Briar can bring him out alive. That sounds awesome. Like, I'm so excited to read this one. And last book, you all know her. I have a lot of books by her. This is actually the shortest book I now own by her. Have not read any of her books, hoping to this summer. And it is That Summer by Sarah Dessen. Very, very, very short. And the writing is fairly big. So I can probably get through this pretty quickly. This will probably be the first one that I read by her just because it's so short. And the back says, for 15-year-old Haven, there's just too much going on. First, there's her father's wedding to Lorna Queen, the local television weather pet. Then her sister Ashley's wedding to boring Louis Washer, who doesn't seem to suit Ashley at all. And Haven can't ignore the fact that she's nearly 6 feet tall and still growing. Haven can barely figure out who she is anymore and where she fits in. Then Ashley's old boyfriend, Sumner Lee, shows up and sparks Haven's memories of the summer when her parents were happy, her sister was plucky and carefree, and everything was perfect, or so it seemed. So it sounds like a cute summer read, quick. But yeah, so those are the books I got, and updates and everything. Maybe I will make a video, some sort of video, maybe a review video tomorrow to show you my haircut. But yeah, so that is it. If you guys have any books that you got in your mailbox this week, put a video response to mine, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.